Did you think at that time, though, Arn, that Hogan could and was worth, as you sit here and think about now, all that money? Do you think it was a wise decision back then for Eric to put those terms in a contract to bring Hogan in? It's easy for us to say now, oh yeah, NWO, everything that came of it. But I mean, let's kind of block that out of our mind if we can.
If you want to know the truth, and
Yeah.
if I can remember, and my mind will save me here, I must have had the thought that I don't know that anybody's worth that.
It's a lot of money.
And I was aware of, who Hulk Hogan was. I'd been in the ring with him, prior to that when he was at his hottest. And, he double clotheslined me and Tully over the top rope, in the match that we're in with him, I was aware of who and what he was. No doubt. But still, that's, my gosh.
That's mind-numbing money. And to be fair, Arn, Hogan looks different now, right? The steroids, he's a lot leaner. This is a different decade. Some of that shine from the 80s momentum that he had with Vince, he's still Hulk Hogan, but he looks different. Some of that charm, especially me, as when I think of a child of the 80s, this is a different Hulk Hogan a little bit. Feels different. The music's different. So it does feel like a gamble.
Well, now you're talking about it as a fan, not as a co-host of where we're looking at the inside stuff. You're looking at this as a fan, and because you have to look at it differently. You know what I mean? He was not the 300-pound Hulk Hogan.
Mm-mm.
He was not the guy that you saw in the Rocky movie.
No.
And sometimes when you're so, I guess, the thing with Vince, all of his guys were superheroes. And when your body changes drastically like that, you're not a superhero anymore. You're still Hulk Hogan, but you're not this 300-pound guy that just steamrolled every monster heel that you had, because that was the way the structure was. You would bring a heel in, a monster, a one-man gang, whoever it was, these monster heels, and Hogan would get rid of them, squash them, cream them. They were done. Walking in the door 40 pounds lighter or 50 pounds lighter, I don't know what it was, even though he was still in shape, he's still tanned, still had all the charisma, and he's still Hulk Hogan. Somewhere in the back of your mind, you got to be going, what's different?
Yeah, he looks different. No doubt about it. You knew he was not the same massive, largest arms in the world, the flex and the impressiveness. And that's too ultimately why I think Arn, and we'll get as we continue to walk through your career and WCW days, that's why the move and transition of making him heel was so genius. Those days were behind him as far as the red and yellow super fit baby face. And Eric figured it out. They figured it out. And obviously turned it into one of the biggest stories ever with heel Hogan and the NWO.